Welcome to shop vlog number 35. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Yes, each segment of this video will be more interesting than the last. And as always, you get to see some sweet, sweet woodworking goodness between those segments. I discovered a new YouTube channel that I think is worth checking out. It's called A Glimpse Inside, and it's a woodworking DIY channel that I actually found by happenstance, which I think is a fun word to say. He commented on one of my videos just last week, and I decided to click and see what his channel was all about. And it's pretty good stuff. I like his personality. He's very positive and enthusiastic about what he's doing. I love seeing his kids in the videos too. But what really got me was the channel intro video, where he talks about becoming a full-time content creator. I almost never watch videos like this, but this guy's personality was compelling enough to kind of draw me in and keep me watching. The first half of the video was interesting enough, but the part that you guys all have to go watch is the last 5 minutes, where he talks about his family and why he had to quit his job and become a full-time YouTuber. I'm not gonna give it away. I'm just gonna put a link below that will take you directly to that point in the video and let you watch yourself. I'd say subscribe to his channel while you're there, but I have a feeling after you watch that, you're going to. This fall will mark the 10th anniversary of Stumpy Nubs videos on YouTube. You're going to hear me talk a lot about this in the coming weeks because it's kind of a big deal for me. When I made my first video in 2011, I never thought I would be standing here a decade later having made over 700 videos. That is a lot. And while I'd like to say that they are all fantastic, that's not true. Some of the early stuff was pretty awful in my opinion. Not the comedy bits. Those videos don't bother me because that's just who I am. In real life, I'm the idiot making up ridiculous stories. I have a dry sense of humor that only a very sophisticated percentage of the population understands. I'm not very fun to be around. But in time, I had to admit that the entertainment portions of the videos were not only falling flat with half the audience, but they were distracting folks from the education that I was trying to provide. So it came to a point where I had to decide if I wanted to be a woodworking entertainer or a woodworking educator. I'm a better teacher than a comedian. So that's the direction I chose to go in. And that shift came around 2016, which is about 5 years and 500 more serious and dignified videos ago. That's actually when my channel really started to take off. So even though I don't get to have as much fun as I used to in videos, I think it was a wise business decision. Anyway, we talk more about this sort of stuff in future videos as the anniversary draws nearer. But there is just a distinct difference between the first 5 years and the last 5 years. And that can be confusing for newer viewers. For example, if someone searches YouTube for videos about upgrading their dust collector or canister filter, they'll find among the top results a video I made on the subject 6 years ago, which isn't a bad video. But we've since made far better, far more educational videos on the subject that have much more value to the viewer as long as they click on the new one instead of the old. Here's another example. If you search for videos about sharpening tools, you'll likely find my old video about the types of sandpaper that are best used for that purpose. While it's a decent video, we've since made more informative tool sharpening videos. Now, as a casual viewer, this may seem like a trivial matter to you. But from an educational perspective, which, as I said, is the focus of this channel, It's like giving someone an outdated textbook when you have a better new one on the shelf. I still have lots of subscribers from the old days, and they do like the old videos. But hundreds of thousands of new subscribers have come, and millions of folks are just looking for an education, and they want videos that get right to the point with no wasted time on jokes or drawn out introductions. That's what the newer videos provide. But when those viewers click on an older Stumpy Nubs video on the same subject, they don't look at the date and say, well, this video is 5 years old. I should see what he has newer. It might be better. No. They watch the old one, and they potentially come away with less knowledge of the subject than they might have received if they'd seen the newer video instead. See my dilemma? I'm not struggling with the idea between should it be an entertainment channel or an education channel. I made that decision a long time ago. I'm trying to decide if the old videos are infringing upon the higher educational value of the new videos, which must compete with the old in the same search results. Honestly, I thought about deleting the first 5 years of the channel altogether. But those videos are part of my history, and there's still a lot of fans who like to go back and watch that old stuff. Those subscribers have stuck with me for a decade. I don't want to take something away from them. Another option might be to change the titles of some of those older videos so they're less searchable. Maybe just number them with no description or keyword in the titles. That way they'll still be on the main channel page where someone who wants to explore the old days may access them. But they'll be less likely to come up in search results for the newer people that are just looking for the best educational videos they can get on the subject. I'm not talking about all the videos from the first 5 years, just the ones I think are the most outdated or at least represent the focus of this channel as it is now. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to mull it over and I'll make the decision by our 10th anniversary. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In our last vlog, I said this. There are some other subtle changes going on, 2 of which are on the screen right now, and a third is about to appear. Did you pick out the 3 changes? There was no vest, there was no cold one, and no traditional sign-off. Let's sit back and have that cold one. Because you've earned it, my friend. First, the vest was not a fashion statement. I'm 43 years old, this isn't junior high. I don't care who likes my vest and who doesn't. It had a purpose. And those things have changed a little bit. You see, I started wearing it in 2016, originally because I needed something with lots of pockets at public events. People always want to exchange cards and stickers. Believe it or not, they ask me to sign stuff, so I have to carry Sharpies. I talk to a lot of people who need mints. You just need a lot of pockets at these events, and the vest was really convenient for that. But I immediately noticed that everyone I passed, whether it was in a woodworking show or in a hallway or on an elevator, they looked directly at the logo on the vest. And I realized its potential for reinforcing the Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal brand. So I started wearing it during filming here as well. Not just to highlight the brand in the videos, but because the vest itself was identifiable with Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. People see it in video. Then I go out to these public events and they recognize that vest in the crowd. And if I'm teaching a class, the vest ties me back to the channel here, and people familiar with my videos are more comfortable in my class. I'm not going to go too deeply into how branding works, but the vest was really effective for those purposes. However, I haven't been doing public events lately, and frankly, I don't know how many I want to do in the future. And it is a pain to put on a vest every time I talk to the camera here in the shop. I'm not saying that it's gone for good. I will definitely wear it at future public events, but I'm taking a break here on camera for a while. Now, what about the cup? For many years, I've always had a can in the koozie on the bench. Again, not as some statement or because I'm really thirsty, but it had a function as well, which I discussed in a vlog a while back. If you missed it, you can go back and get caught up. The thing is, you can't have a koozie with an unidentified can in it on a woodworking bench without some people assuming it's alcohol. And for years, that's been fine with me. Sometimes it has been beer. but some folks can't seem to differentiate between maybe having a beer on the bench while I'm talking to a camera and advocating drinking alcohol while using power tools in the shop. I know what most of you are saying. Who cares what these people say? I get that. It's easy enough to dismiss as a viewer, but I'm managing a brand that's focused on education, including shop safety. And unfortunately, perception, even among the minority, counts, especially on the internet, where a handful of people can turn their own misunderstanding into a full-scale controversy. Even David Picciuto realized at one point he didn't want to be known as the drunken woodworker. And frankly, I don't want people saying, why should I listen to a guy telling me to use a blade guard if he drinks in the workshop, even if they're wrong about that. It's especially become an issue as the channel has grown and new viewers have come in that can see the can on my bench and my shaky hands, and they think the two are connected. I am tired of talking about my shaky hands. That's why I made a video about it, so I can just send folks over there and I can stop explaining that I shake because of a genetic condition, not because I'm an alcoholic who needs a can of beer within reach at all times. Honestly, I don't have time for the grief, so I'm just going to retire the can and the traditional sign-off about having a cold one. However, the purpose of the can on the bench, or the koozie, remains the same. So, coffee has taken its place. And until my insulated mug with the Red Wings logo arrives, the koozie is on the cup. We have to maintain some traditions around here. What do you think of the new tip series? If you missed it, a week or so ago I launched a new video series called Weekend Woodworking Tips. Each episode will include 5 of my favorite tips or tricks or small jigs that are relevant to everyday small shop woodworking. I hope to release a new episode every 2 or 3 weeks until I run out of ideas. That may take a while because I've picked up a lot of great tips over the years. The funny thing about woodworking tips is no matter how common you think the tip is, someone will say they'd never thought about that before, and that's just amazing. On the other hand, no matter how original you think a tip is, someone is going to say, I saw that in a magazine in 1975. We all glean things from different places, and those sources probably learned it from someone else before that, who learned it from someone else before that. So I'm not going to claim any of these tips in these videos as original to me, even if I think I'm the first one to think of some of them, because I probably wasn't. Likewise, I'm not going to worry about tracking down exactly where I learned every tip and give credit, because that probably wasn't the original source either. I'm just bringing you my favorite tips that I've picked up from various sources throughout the years in this craft, whether it be from personal experience, from people I've worked with, from other magazines or videos or books or wherever. And I'll bet each episode will include something that's new to you. This isn't the first time I've made tip videos. We have a whole series of older videos on the channel that are labeled Quick Tip. Those were originally supposed to be short little videos of less than a minute or two that you could watch in bunches if you wanted to. But people complained that the videos were too short, especially if I had an ad at the end. They didn't like the ratio of video to ad. And YouTube doesn't care for short videos anymore, so the algorithm would penalize those videos. I had to make them longer. The problem is that many great tips just can't be stretched out into longer videos. And a lot of the best ones then never got shared. So that's why I decided to change it to this series. I'm packaging 5 little tips into one video to make it appropriate in length so that everybody can enjoy it. The next episode should be ready soon, and you are definitely going to want to see it. Speaking of sponsors, you've seen this router jig in several videos over the years. Most recently, we used it to cut mortises for some hickory bathroom furniture. It's one of those tools that has many different functions, and it actually does them all really well because of this little micro adjustment mechanism that's the heart of the whole system. It makes it easy to dial in the perfect cut. Mpower is a family-owned company that I've worked with for years. I've stuck with them because they are just a company worth sticking with. And their flagship CRB7 jig delivers on all of its promises. It's not cheap, especially not the Mega Bundle, which comes with all the attachments for all the functions. But I worked out a deal to get $70 off the full bundle, and that is a big chunk of it. So if you're interested, use the link in the video description below and the discount code STUMPY70. It's good until the end of August. That's it for Shop Vlog number 35. We'll see you next time.